Hello guys and happy Tuesday again. So in today's video, you already know, as I mentioned it last week, we're going to be having a look at our budget for the month of September and see what we've actually planned for this month as well. So if you're new to my channel and you didn't know, I tend to do these budget updates every single month now, just to show you guys how we're doing, how we're budgeting our money, and hopefully give you guys some inspiration as well. And I do think it's good for you guys to just see an example as to how we just sort of deal with our finances and things like that. So excited to see what we're going to be budgeting for the month of September. And if you are interested in getting my spreadsheet as well, you can of course do that. I have a monthly budgeting template and a weekly one as well. So definitely check out the links in the description below where you can purchase from my Etsy store. But yeah, let's just go on and see how September is looking like. So in terms of our total income, again, this is something that I don't really tend to share at the moment. It's just something that's a bit private, but this is the budget that we use for myself and my husband. So we do join our finances, and so our income essentially comes into one pot. And so you can see that we've got my salary on there, and we've also got my husband's salary on there. So his name is Yinka, in case you didn't know. And a lot of you guys will know that I do earn under £35,000 a year from my 9-to-5 job, which is probably under 48,000 US dollars. And my husband earns probably around a similar amount, I would say. But yeah, that's essentially how much we earn. As you can see, we do not earn big bucks at all. So hopefully we're a bit more relatable when it does come to our finances. But you can see that we have also been able to save and invest quite a good amount of our income as well. So let's move over to that section. So in terms of our saving and investment, so again, we are currently putting 1,500 into our savings, and that is actually to buy property. So that's really where the majority of our savings are going towards. But we also have put some money into investments as well. So for Yinka, we've actually put £100 into his stocks and shares ISA. So that's really just how we invest in the stock market. But we have actually not put £100 into my own stocks and shares ISA. The reason being is because we're actually putting that into my business instead. So we're putting £100 into my business, and this is something that I did actually start doing earlier on this year. I started putting a bit of money into my business just because there were things that I wanted to buy just to really set up the business, and there's just been things that I've really been doing behind the scenes. And so the reason why we've decided to actually put £100 this month is because there's going to be some changes over the next few months. So I'm very excited to let you guys know sort of how that goes. But at the moment I'm keeping it a bit hush hush for now. But yeah, there's a reason why I've put £100 into the business. I don't think I've even mentioned this much before, but I do see this as a digital asset as well. So I do also see it as an investment. Just like you would be investing in real estate or the property market, you can also invest in businesses. And so that's really something that I really want to start focusing on the moment. That's why I've been doing a lot of my passive income reports, which you guys can definitely check out if you haven't already. I will link one up here for you and in the description below. But essentially I'm trying to build those digital assets so that we can really have that also as an investment. So I hope that makes sense. I will maybe do like a future video on sort of my plans for my business and things like that, but at the moment that's probably just all I would say, because I feel like I've just been blabbing on for long enough. But essentially in terms of savings and investments, that comes to 1,700 again for the month of September. And if you're liking this video so far, then feel free to give me a thumbs up, as it really does help to support the channel, and you probably already know it's free. Then moving over to essential bills, again we've pretty much budgeted the same for that. So we've got 1,050 for rent, we've got 50 for water, 43 for electric and gas, 145 for council tax, 29.60 for broadband, and 158 with our iCloud. And then again, when it comes to our phone, we just pay for a SIM contract. So we bought our phone outright. I mean, I've had mine for ages and so has he, although we are probably going to need to buy him a new phone because it's now starting to break down. But at the moment we do just pay for SIM contracts. So for Yinka's, that is £12 a month, and that is with Voxy. And likewise with mine, it is about £10 a month, and that's also with Voxy. And with that we get a fair amount of data, we get endless social media, and we get things like, you know, unlimited minutes and text. So definitely check out Voxy if you haven't already, particularly if you are from the UK. I will of course leave my link in the description below, because if you do use my link, we do get vouchers as well. So if you are looking for a new SIM contract, then Voxy may be of interest to you. And then again, in case you're new to my channel and you don't already know, we don't currently pay for TV license per month at the moment. The only reason for that is because we pay for the year instead. instead, and so we paid that as soon as we actually moved into this place, so we don't need to think about paying that for another year. Although I am going to want to start thinking about creating a sinking fund for it, just so that we are ready to pay for that next year. But we haven't created a sinking fund for that yet. That needs to be on my list, so actually it's a good thing you guys have reminded me, even though you probably didn't remind me, but thanks a lot for your reminder. And then moving on to, of course, tithes, charity and giving. So again, that's something that we religiously do as people of faith. It's something that we have always sort of continuously done as well. Even before we got married, we do think it's really important. So for us, that pretty much hasn't changed. So yeah, essential bills all pretty much looking the same, so happy days with that. And then moving over to sinking funds. Now you will see actually that sinking funds is pretty much blank, so we haven't actually put money towards our sinking funds. Now at the moment, what we were currently putting money towards is a pot for clothes. So we wanted to create a sinking funds for clothes, and we actually started that last month. The reason why we're not actually doing that this month is because we actually have to put money towards another category this month, so I'm definitely going to talk about that later on in the video. But essentially we don't currently have money for sinking funds at the moment, which is a little bit sad because, you know, it's just kind of empty there. So let's go over to spending and you will see the reason behind this blank space. So in terms of our spending, the first thing is petrol. Now usually we will budget about £80 a month, and that's because my husband tends to drive to work, so usually we will spend around £80. Last month actually, when I was talking about our August budget update, we ended up spending £90 for that. So if you haven't watched that video where I was actually tracking our expenses and seeing how we did for the month of August, definitely check that video out if you haven't already. I will of course link that up here for you and in the description below. But we have actually increased the amount we're going to be putting towards petrol for this month. So you can see in the budget we have actually allocated £110 towards our petrol. Now the main reason being is because yes, my husband is going to be driving to work. We also have our wedding early September. So again, if you didn't know, we actually did our registry office back in June and then had to actually move our full-on church and reception wedding to September. So we've still got that, so we're going to be doing a bit of driving there. Again, if you want to take a look at our video where we talk about how we actually saved for our wedding, definitely check that video out if you haven't already. I will link that in the description below for you. But also I'm going to be traveling back to work, so because we are now doing this kind of hybrid working thing, I actually have to now travel back to work, and where I work is outside London. So yeah, it essentially means we're going to be using more petrol, and because we only have one car, because for us it just kind of made sense just to have one car, we obviously are going to be sharing the car, and so I'm going to be going on specific days to work and he is as well, so it's obviously a bit more than we are used to. I mean, I don't actually even know if we will stick to that budget, just because I don't know how much petrol exactly I'm going to be using going up to the office. So this is pretty much going to be a trial and error, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, £110 at the moment. And then next up is groceries. So I think we have 4 weeks until our next payday. So again, what I've done is allocated the same amount as last month. So we budgeted around £136 for the month of September. So that hopefully should be around £34 a week. And considering we only overspent by £3 last month, I do think actually we could probably stick to this budget as well. Hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed, we actually do stick to that budget. But again, if we go just over, I wouldn't mind. And obviously if we went under, then that would be absolutely amazing. So we will see how that goes. And then again, we also have toiletries. So this hasn't necessarily changed very much either. So we have put £30 in there. Hopefully we should stick to that budget. I mean, we don't tend to overspend on toiletries very much. If we do, it's about a couple of pounds, so it's not too bad. And then when it comes to our spending, again, we have allocated £100 each for our spending, so for my husband's spending and for my spending. And the reason being is, again, it means that we have this kind of guilt-free money where we don't really have to be that accountable to each other, because we do actually join everything else when it comes to our finances, but we do keep that spending account separate. So £100 I don't think is very much, but you know, it's nice for me to go out with my friends and things like that. So £100 each we've got. In terms of date night, I mean, we did have to decrease it for the month of September. Again, a big reason for that is because of the amount we have to put towards petrol. So we've allocated about £60 this month towards our date night. And if you guys will remember, last week actually we ended up underspending quite a lot, so I do want to try and stick more closely to that £60 and actually utilize the £60. So hopefully we can do that this month. So we do definitely need to make an effort with that. And then moving over to personal care, so usually we'll allocate around £40 to that, but as some of you may already know, if you did watch my August budget update video, we didn't actually end up spending too much on personal care. So what it essentially means is we've actually carried that money over to next month. So we just needed to allocate around £17 a month, which isn't too bad. So hopefully that should be all okay. And then with miscellaneous, we've just allocated around £15. So that's in case anything crops up or any general spending that we need to do. We've allocated £15 there. And then I actually have a property magazine that I pay for every quarter. So that's about £5. So we have allocated that money there. So hopefully that should be paid out. And we had some money left over, so we put that towards our pennies. So in total, you can see that for our spending, it's around £574.82. And again, if you're interested, maybe you're not from the UK, that is around $790 US. So we will see how that goes. So again, just looking at our yearly roundup, figures haven't necessarily changed very much. Just looking at this spending category, you can see that in the month of September we have budgeted slightly more than what we spent in August, but it's actually a lot less than July. So hopefully we should be able to stick to the budget. I'm really hoping that we can. Obviously if we don't, it's not the end of the world, but again, what I will do is show you guys an update in terms of how we actually do for the month of September. So I am looking forward to that, and also looking forward to our wedding as well, which of course I will be sharing other videos to do with our wedding and things like that if you guys are interested as well. So yeah, that is pretty much it. So if you did like this video, then please do give me a thumbs up if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments, how do you think your budget for September is gonna go? I do post every Tuesday and Friday, and will actually be posting this Friday as well, so definitely make sure you are subscribed to my channel if you do want to see that content, and I will see you guys on Friday.